So one of the first things the government consultation document asks is, why is reducing agricultural emissions important? They give a very concise 3-paragraph answer to this question, so we'll just read the entire thing. Changes in climate, such as temperature and rainfall, are already happening in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Everyone must adapt to the changing climate and contribute to international efforts to limit the global temperature increase by urgently reducing greenhouse gas emissions from all sources. The stakes are high for Aotearoa, New Zealand, where farmers and growers are both critical to the economy and directly exposed to the effects of the changing climate. Agricultural greenhouse gas emissions, methane, nitrous oxide and carbon dioxide, currently contribute over half of Aotearoa, New Zealand's gross emissions. Farmers and growers are already feeling the impacts of a changing climate. Across Aotearoa, New Zealand, extreme weather events, flooding and droughts are increasing the pressures faced by farmers and growers. Climate change is increasing the frequency and severity of droughts in Aotearoa, New Zealand. The primary sector is particularly vulnerable. From 2007 to 2017, drought cost the country around $720 million. Now, this statement is mostly waffle in that it cannot be quantified. For instance, it talks about the climate changing and temperature and rainfall changing, but it doesn't even say whether they're going up or down, let alone by how much. However, there is one very clear, very quantifiable statement that the government even gives some financial figures around, and that is climate change is increasing the frequency and severity of droughts in Aotearoa, New Zealand. So here we have a clear reason for the policy, but there are no numbers given on that. So let's go and check out how drought is increasing in New Zealand. The first way we can do this is go to NIWA. They have an online drought monitor which shows the drought incidents in all different regions of New Zealand over the last 15 years. It's all graphed online, you can have a look at it yourself. Here are some examples. The fluctuations in the graph are summer and winter. Obviously it's drier in the summer and wetter in the winter. But there's no trend. The droughts aren't getting more severe over time or more frequent. The graphs are flat, and it doesn't really matter what region you look at. So there doesn't appear from these numbers to be an increase in droughts, but maybe there's some trend hidden in the numbers that we just can't see with the naked eye. So the next thing we need to look at is actual scientific papers investigating this question. And there's a really good paper that came out in 2020 that looked directly at this. This paper is called Trends in National and Regional Scale Drought in New Zealand. And they examined the incidence of drought in New Zealand between 1979 and 2010, using essentially the same methodology that NIWA is using in those graphs. And they came to a very clear conclusion. No national scale trends in drought occurrence are identified. Now, hidden behind that overall statement, there were some differences between regions. The east coast of the South Island has been increasing in drought incidents over time, while Northland, Auckland, Waikato, the Bay of Plenty and Gisborne have been decreasing in drought incidents. But overall there's no change in drought incidents for the country as a whole. So in summary, the government asked an important question. Why is reducing agricultural emissions important? They answered this question with a clear, measurable, unambiguous statement. Climate change is increasing the frequency and severity of droughts in Aotearoa, New Zealand. That statement was false, either a mistake or a lie. So according to the consultation document, either there is no reason for this law, or if there is a reason, it is one that we are not being told.